What's going on, guys? Today we're taking a look at another X99 motherboard. This one is from ASRock and it is their X99WS. So let's go ahead and take a look. The X99WS comes in this nice big box. It's one of the bigger motherboard boxes that we have seen. This is a pretty big board here. Of course, it lets us know that it is the X99WS and some of the main features here: the Purity Sound 2, Ultra M.2, 8X DDR4 memory support, ultra thin design to fit a 1U chassis. So if you want to use this for a server or something like that, you can do that. Server grade Intel dual LAN in HDD saver. It also supports not only ECC memory but RDIMMs as well. On the back here, you can see there is a ton of information. It goes over pretty much everything that is on the board here. Now, I know you guys just want me to open it, so let's do that. Inside here, we have all of our accessories. So we have two books here. First booklet is our software setup guide, and then we do have our quick installation guide, and inside of there we do have our CD that has our drivers and software. Again, we always tell you to go ahead and go to the manufacturer's website to get the latest version of your drivers and software. Just makes it easier because you're gonna have to install then update. So go to the website first, get them, put them on a flash drive before you go ahead and do your install. And we do have a little case sticker in there as well. Going up on accessories here, we have two sets of SATA cables, so 2 cables per bag, and that makes 4 total. We have a single, what is this? This looks like, here, I'll actually open it up and take it out here. It's our SLI bridge, I believe, or this is, so we have one here. I'll open this one up. So we have 2 SLI bridges, which I'm going to show you here. And these aren't the standard cable ones. These ones are actually a full-size PCB, just a nicer version, which I do like. So you have 2 of these, 2 SLI bridges, and then you have a 3-way SLI bridge. Same thing, nice design. It's actually a full-size PCB. Bring that out. Again, this is a workstation board, so they are assuming that you're going to be doing multiple graphics cards, so they do include the SLI bridges, and you can see this one looks quite nice on there. So we have that 3-way SLI bridge. We have a little screw here that is actually for the M.2 slot. I would have liked it to see pre-installed on the motherboard because you end up losing these. Just makes it much easier. These bags out of the way. We do have a little 4-pin to SATA connector. I'm not exactly sure what this is for, but it does come with that. And then we do have our I/O shield. Not much design on it. It is your plain I/O shield. Again, workstation board, so not a lot of cool design and everything like that. And of course, under there we do have our motherboard, which we're going to go into in detail. Taking a first look at the motherboard here, you can see it's actually quite large. It is an extended ATX motherboard, so you actually want to make sure, when you're going out and buying your components, that the case that you get will actually support this large of a motherboard. Now, this board is built on ASRock's super alloy design, so that includes the large double XL aluminum alloy heat sinks that you see here. You have premium 60 amp power chokes, premium memory alloy chokes, dual N MOSFETs, 12K platinum capacitors, and the sapphire black PCB. Starting at the top center of the board here, you have the LGA 2011-3 socket. That of course supports Intel's Haswell-E high-end desktop processors. We have a 12-phase all-digital power design here, and the power delivery components are actually cooled by these 2 very large blue heat sinks here. On each side of the LGA 2011-3 socket, you do have 4 DDR4 slots. And again, the X99 platform is their first consumer platform to support DDR4, and all of these slots are color-coded for quad-channel operation. Moving over here at the top, we can see our 8-pin EPS connector. We have our CPU fan, which is a 4-pin, and then we have another 3-pin fan connector. We have our 24-pin ATX power connection, USB 3.0 header, and then another 3-pin fan connector. As far as storage goes, you have quite a lot on this motherboard. You have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 SATA 6 gig ports. Along the bottom of the motherboard is where you're going to find the rest of your buttons, connections, and headers, and all of that stuff. So starting on the far right here, we have our debug LED, and of course that is great. You know, if your system is, won't boot up or something like that, that will display a code, and you can go ahead and look it up and see where your computer is halting. We do have a small BIOS switch right here, allows you to switch between different BIOSes. We do have our front panel connections right here. Power and reset buttons. Again, I love seeing these on motherboards, especially if you have this outside of a case and you're doing some testing. Power and reset buttons make things so much easier. We have 2 fan connections right here. One is a 3-pin and the second one is a 4-pin. We actually have a clear CMOS jumper, something we haven't seen in a while. We have 2 USB 2.0 headers. We have 2 COM port headers. We have a Molex connection right here, and that is actually to bring extra power to your PCI Express slots. And then we do have our HD audio header right here. Along the far end of the motherboard, you have the Purity Sound 2 solution. And this solution is made up of the Realtek ALC 1150 audio codec, a 115 dBn SNR DAC with differential amplifier, and you also get a premium headset amplifier. Now all of this is actually separated from the motherboard completely, so you have that line here. It's kind of hard to see in the video, but your audio components are completely separated from the motherboard itself, and you also do get EMI shielding. As far as expansion slots go on the motherboard here, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 PCI Express 3.0 X16 slots. Now the way they will work is if you have a single card installed, they will run, or it will run at X16 speeds. If you have 2 cards installed, you want to install them in the first slot here and the 4th slot, and they will run at X16 speeds. If you have 3 cards installed, you want to install them in 1, 2, and 4, and they will run at X8 speeds. And finally, if you have 4 cards installed, you want to install them in 1, 2, 4, and 6, and they will run at X8 speeds. So you do have support for NVIDIA 4-way SLI or AMD's 4-way Crossfire X. We also have an Ultra M.2 slot here, and of course Ultra M.2 is much faster than your typical Gen 2 M.2 slot at 32 gigabits a second. Finally, looking at the rear I/O here, we have 2 USB 2.0 ports. We have a PS2 port. We have our clear CMOS button, 2 more USB 2.0 ports, a eSATA port. We have 4 USB 3.0 ports, dual gigabit Ethernet, and this is Intel Ethernet, and then we do have our audio connections. So this wraps it up here for our quick unboxing and overview of the ASRock X99 WS motherboard. Now make sure you check back very soon on ThinkComputers.org as we'll have our full written review. And remember guys, if you like our videos, why don't you subscribe? Catch you guys later.